Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about this fabulous photograph of Playboy Playmate Barbara Moore. And I shot this for a documentary and it was entitled Do Not Disturb. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. Well, welcome back. Now, how did I get this fabulous photograph of Playboy Playmate Barbara Moore? Well, I was contacted by a producer in Canada who was doing a documentary of glamour photographers in Los Angeles, and he wanted to come down and interview me, and he also wanted to do a little B-roll of me shooting. Now, I wasn't the only person he had in a documentary. He had a few other different LA photographers as well, but I thought this would be really great exposure for us, and I told him that I probably have a playmate on my shoot, which I thought would be a really great idea since I know a lot of playmates, which happened to be Barbara Moore. Now, she had a website at the time, so it was perfect for her. She could help promote her website and herself, and of course I was promoting me. The best thing for me to do would be to come over to the hotel where him and his crew were going to be, and I would bring the model, and I just thought I'd just bring over this one light, this tungsten light with me. I also thought to myself, well, I want to make this really simple and easy as possible. So at that particular time, we were sort of transitioning from film to digital. So I thought, you know what, I'll just take this point and shoot camera, something very simple, very easy to use, and I'll take the pictures with that. And as you can see, the pictures were fabulous, which really goes to show you it's not about all the crazy million pixel cameras that you need. But as I said to you before, I was in a transition between digital and film, so they hadn't sort of gone up in the ranges that they have today. So I went over there, and we set up a light, and we produced a series of pictures of Barbara in this fabulous lingerie, and she gradually stripped off and then got down to next to nothing. So it was it was a girl sort of undressing in a hotel room, which I thought was really good. And then after the shoot, I just took the compact flash card out and gave it to them. They were able to take those images and use them for the documentary sequence with no problems at all. I mean, I didn't have to wait for film or any of that kind of stuff. So digital worked out great. Now, the other thing is they also did a quick interview with me, and then they did an interview with Barbara, which was really absolutely terrific, gave us some really good exposure, and everybody was very, very happy. So all I did really then was I just basically set up a light, projected it onto Barbara on the bed, and I just used, as I said to you before, this point and shoot, and just went around and shot pictures. Now, the thing about this camera is that it's one of the earlier models, so it doesn't give you incredible dynamic range, and you can see in some of the pictures that there's just a little bit of detail gone, and today's technology, obviously, it's really brought to the forefront a lot more good clarity. But on the other hand, some of that stuff is just gone way off the charts, and there's no reason to have it. Now, during this process of me switching over to digital, I obviously went with the digital as they expanded, but at some particular point I made a cutoff point not to keep on investing money into digital, because it just goes over the top. And all the time I've been shooting as a professional using digital technology, I've never had anybody say to me, oh, there's not enough resolution in this picture, there's not enough DPI, there's not enough megapixels, all this kind of rubbish. I got my work published, got paid, and life goes on. So don't get caught up in the mirrorless game and the high resolution this. And today you can find some of the cameras that were the early models that have great dynamic range. They're not 50 million pixels. So if you get a camera that gives you 21 million pixels, you've got a camera who's going to just give you everything you want out of it. So you can pick up some of these things for like $500 plus in reasonable shape. So again, if you want to go and buy all this gear, then go and buy it. It's entirely up to you. We professionals don't keep buying the latest and greatest. There's a point between where we know what to use to get a great shot, which brings me back to another point, and that is it's not really about whether you've got the best and most fabulous equipment. It's about whether you as a photographer can capture the moment and also understand what you're doing with your lighting or your subject matter. So don't get caught up in all that technology technology. So concentrate on that. Now, another thing that I want to bring to everybody's attention is I keep seeing ads all the time for photographers who have 1 or 2 years experience. And my question is I really think that you people who are advertising for those kind of photographers need to really sit down and figure out what you're going to get for 1 or 2 years experience. Because I've been in the business for some period of time. I've got a few years under my belt, and I've got to the point where I do understand what's really going on with my subject matter and my lighting and all this, and I didn't find that in 1 or 2 years. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be 1 or 2 years, but you got to hone your craft there. But I really am laughing in the face of these people that think they can hire a photographer to do a job that's got 1 or 2 years experience. Don't be fooled by these cameras that you can just take pictures with. Yeah, I mean, you might as well just do it with your camera phone and keep your fingers crossed. That's not what good photography is. Good photography is when a picture can evoke something to somebody who's looking at it, or it just jumps off the page. There's something fabulous about it. Anyway, enough said about that. If you like that story, you might want to pop over to my blog on andrefelixphoto.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. If you subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't, please subscribe. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think. And all I can say is thanks a lot and bye for now.